Hello friends! I'm Carol, aka Codaleia. I'm a freelance illustrator and character designer. I've worked for the last decade in animation industry in Europe, and welcome on my art channel. I get that you have saw this trend on Instagram lately. I did the Sixfanarts, and here is my round one because I loved it so much that I'm doing right now a second round. I'm a nerd. So here you'll see how I did the 6 fanarts, and I'll be talking about what fanart can bring you as an artist, and as well as the advantage and the flaws of doing fanart. So let's go! Sharpen your pencils, grab your stylus, and let's draw! The 6 fanart challenge was very popular on Instagram these last weeks. I really enjoyed it, to be honest, because, well, I love fanart. So for this one, I asked on Instagram to my audience which fanart they wanted to see, and they gave me some suggestions that I followed. So I did Brooklyn from Gargoyles, the show that I love. I did Allura from Voltron. I did Nathan Drake from Uncharted, the video game. I did Chat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug. I did Kratos from the God of War 4, the last God of War video game. And I did Rayla, one of the heroine of the Dragon Prince. I've always been a fanart lover since my childhood. Since I began to draw, actually. I began to make art by drawing fanarts as many artists. I remember drawing Disney characters when I was maybe 8 or 9, using my window as a light table. I first drew, as I said, Disney character like Wendy from Peter Pan, Mikey, Minnie, I think. I drew Sailor Moon, I drew Dragon Ball Z, I drew also characters from comic strips, like from French comic strip, like Yakari or Torgal. And in my teenage years and until now, I did a lot of fanarts of Gargoyles. This is my favorite cartoon ever. I love the characters, and I just felt the need to draw them every time and everywhere. I also drew Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, I drew Star Wars, I drew Lord of the Rings, some Game of Thrones stuff, and Monkey Island, because I love Monkey Island. I drew My Little Pony too, because I love My Little Pony. And I'm sure that there are names that I forgot to mention. I also drew fanarts from books, like Dragon Riders of Bern, for instance, or Jane Eyre from Charlotte Bronte, Harry Potter, of course. But what is fanart, you may ask? Well, fanart is producing a piece of art from a pre-existing material. Most of the time it's a copyrighted material and created in the entertainment spectrum, maybe books or cartoons or anime or movies, TV series or comics and more. But fanart can be also a tricky question. It is most of the time tolerated and very appreciated, especially by the fans, but less appreciated by the property's owners, of course. Some of the creators don't like to see their creations into the hands of fan artists or fanfiction writers. Anne McCaffrey, the creator of the Dragon of Bern book series, didn't accept fan works derivated from her series. On the other hand, some other companies are encouraging it, as it helps spreading the influence of their creations. Well, Blizzard and Overwatch is a good example of that. Producing fanart and selling them is a big difference, and this is where is standing this grey area. It is more or less tolerated in certain circumstances, especially in conventions. As an artist selling in conventions, and I did this for years, mostly in Paris, in France, at the Japan Expo, I drew and sold lots of fanarts, mixed of course with some original artworks as well. Fanart is an easy way to connect with an audience, especially when you're starting. People don't know you, so, well, drawing fanarts is the easier way to give them something that they might like. Simple as that. People already know the characters that you're drawing, and they may have a deep connection with it. So they might buy the product just because this is this character and not another one. But ask you the question, is it your personal touch of view, your personal art style that the customer like about your piece? Or the character that he or she likes above all? Well, it certainly is a mix of both. But on the other hand, transitioning from selling fan art to selling your own original art can sometimes be tricky. Because as soon as you sell original art, you can't rely on this connection that the audience has with the character in your piece anymore. Well, they don't know him or her or them, your own original character, and you only have to rely on your style, on your colors, on your composition, or the general appealing power of your own piece. Of course, over the years, as long as you keep putting your art on the internet and as long as you're going to conventions, as long as you have a booth and showing your art up there, people will finish to notice and maybe follow your art for what it is, your art. But, well, what do I like about fan art? I like connecting with the fandom, and it helped me create friendship over the fandom and over the world. And I liked the fact that I made connection with other fan artists and fanfiction writers. For me, with Gargoyles, I felt like being a part of the fandom was one of the most fulfilling thing in my life. And I really enjoyed feeling that I was part of a big family that didn't care about your place or where you live, and that even if I'm in Europe and there are some of them in the US or in Australia or whatever, we are all from a big family, and it's a thing that I never felt anywhere else. Fan art is also a good way to improve yourselves, of course, by drawing new things, to understand how the characters have been designed and how they choose the colors and how they choose the proportions and everything. It's also a nice and easy way to introduce your art to a new audience in conventions. It's also an easy way to get likes on Instagram and DeviantArt. But be careful about the down effect after that, because it's only fan art. And don't forget that fan art is tolerated as long as it stays private and free to share. As soon as you're starting to sell it, this is where it starts to begin grey. So be careful what you do with fan art. It's okay to make fan art. It's okay to share them, but just be careful what you're doing with it. And now, enough chatting, and I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video. So, here is the final result of the 6 fanarts, round 1. But I loved it so much that I asked my followers on Instagram to give me some suggestions for the second round. So maybe you'll have another video in the future with the other 6 fanarts. So please consider giving this video a thumbs up, it really helps with the algorithm. And don't forget to ring my bell here, or maybe here, I never know, just to keep informed when the next video will be up. You can of course follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as Twitch, where I live stream frequently. So see you next time in the next video, and until then, take care of yourself, wash your hands, Carol out! But first I wanted to give a big thank you to all my new patrons. It's Gail Bretzel, Hawkstone, Maëlys, Poltage, Sam Rory, Spy, Twisted Sisters, and Valeria. To all of you, I owe you a big thank you.